Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. In this video we're going to be taking a first look at Adam, who is going to be a 6-star promo coming into Road to Survival. And this is what he looks like as a 6-star. His stats are 2,104 attack, 2,433 defense and 2,453 HP. His trait is strong and the role is medic. Now his adrenaline rush is called Renewing Burst. It is a 76 AP cost rush. Deal 800% damage to one enemy. Up to 2 teammates regain up to 50% of their max HP for 2 turns. While battling on the defense team, revive one teammate with 75% of their max HP. So obviously 3 sections to this rush. 800% damage, not generally great in the hands of a 6-star, just based on the heights that attack stat can get to, while still having decent survivability. You have to lose something there, and he'd have to lose massive survivability as a 6-star, and it's not really viable. And the damage isn't really going to do much compared to like an S class who could sacrifice survivability and still have 3.5k, on HP and defense. You just don't want to see it in the hands of a 6-star really. Up to 2 teammates regain up to 50% of their max HP for 2 turns is okay. I guess most people would probably prefer everybody get HP and it was just less, like 25% HP for 2 turns to everybody. It's a little bit more overall, but it is still less HP gain. I think most people just prefer it that way. It does generally, I think, go to the person who's got the lowest HP, however, so those 250% would hit the people with the lowest HP. But I think it's lowest percentage HP, so it would still go to like an S-class character who was at 49% HP but still had like over 2k HP potentially, versus a 6-star who was at like 75% HP but had, less than 2k HP. So I think it hits the percentages. Now the last part I'm really not a fan of. While battling on the defense team, revive one teammate with 75% of their max HP. Now if this guy had that as just in general, not just on the defense team, he'd be okay to be using on an attack team because it could happen. The problem is on a defense team that's not really going to happen too much, not just because he's not really going to rush guaranteed on his actual normal gameplay, because he's going to get destroyed. On a defense team, 6-star characters are just literally just done, to be honest. They are done. Every character that you bring into your roster, if it's an S-class, is probably going to go on your defense team over a 6-star character, even off trait. There are very small exceptions to this in terms of very, very strong 6-star characters, but you're going to have to design just a stupidly overpowered 6-star just to be relevant in the S-class era on a defense team. And so I'm not really a big fan of that personally. But if he had that in general, instead of it just being on the defense team, he'd be reasonable. But I still wouldn't say he'd be that great. But we'll go across the active skill, and it is Recover, Stun, and Impair. It is an initial cooldown of 2, and up to 3 teammates recover from Stun and Impaired. And I think that's the strongest we've ever seen. 3 teammate Recover Stun, but also 3 teammate Recover Impair. That's really strong. It has an initial cooldown of 2, a cooldown of 2, but only a number of uses of 5. The standard is 5, but the cooldown and the initial cooldown are huge. 2-2 is really rare. You sometimes get 3 2s, or you get 2 3s, but never 2 2s really. And the amount of power that has, triple cleanse on those 2, stun and impair, are very prevalent. So that's really strong. Obviously on a defense team it can go off when you don't really want it to, but like I said, 6-stars on defense teams, not going to be really viable long term. Now he has got a specialist skill, and it is Outlast, and this is where he can potentially rush on a defense team. It works just like Mia in terms of you kill this character, they 100% are going to rush unless they've been controlled. If they've been taunted, confused, anything impaired, they cannot rush still, but they gain 100% AP when being killed. So that is some potential on the defense team. However, if he is the first to die, he's going to heal. That's it, because he's not going to revive someone if no one else is dead. And Crosshairs is everywhere as well, so revive is less powerful than it was once before, just because Crosshairs is very strong, and there are characters that give Crosshairs to everybody, so kills are quite easy to come by getting those decaps. So I'm not really sold on this character as a 6-star. Now my own thoughts on this is there was a character that was released very recently, and it was Sheila, and Sheila had a bleed rush, and Adam here has a percentage rush. Now a bleed rush on an S-class character either has to be really immense, like sort of Raulito levels, or I don't know, yeah, they can have a percentage damage rush. Even Sheila with her attack stat was still over 3k, and 800% damage with her would have been reasonable. I still wouldn't have said it was great because it was on a medic, but you shouldn't put percentage damage on a 6-star basically if you want them to be viable, because anyone who gets this character will have to stack defense and HP. They will not be able to really put any stat into that attack, and that means that 800% is obviously just massively devalued. If that was 800 bleed, even though it's going to be like less potential damage, like 800 bleed for 2 turns, it can be lacerated, it can be, you know, there's some viability on certain attack teams, could go with Raulito, there'll be some synergy there, but I don't really see some team that he could sit on. Maybe, I think he's kind of been designed to sit on maybe a Laupo defense team, and I don't know. I'm just not really, I don't really think this character's hitting the mark, and I think him and Sheila should have got together in a platonic way and just swapped their rushes, and because their rushes being the other way around would have been much nicer, you know, than it is right now, in my opinion. But yes, 6 stars have to pretty much be geared towards attack teams only going forward if they want them to be really like viable to be purchased, because defense team ones, and this is like trying to promote a defense team character with this extra little buff on a defense team, you're generally going to be selling characters that are going to be weakening people's teams. Like I said before, very, very few characters that actually make a difference on a defense team as a 6-star. So that is 6-star Adam. Do tell me what you think about him as a character. I think he looks cool. I didn't look at the design at the beginning. I think he actually looks pretty cool. I think he's got tattoos on his arms. We've seen the biker gloves come in, making a comeback. Backpack and hat. No doubt he has not got a backpack or a hat as a 5-star, guys. I put money on it. But yeah, that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.